As part of the Green Schools Initiative, the majority of OPS schools are getting ready to start a cafeteria recycling program or improve an existing program in order to reduce the amount of trash that is sent to the landfill. Presently, OPS schools produce enough trash per year to equal a football field piled 75 feet with trash. The majority of this trash comes from the cafeteria. However, much of this waste can be recycled, which is why it is important for all schools to implement successful recycling programs in the cafeteria. So how do you start or improve a cafeteria recycling program? Even though it'll be slightly different at each school, it's really quite easy. And this video will help explain some suggestions and general approaches to developing a successful cafeteria recycling program. But first, what is recyclable at OPS?
The common items from the cafeteria that can be recycled are empty milk bottles, water bottles, plastic lids, empty juice boxes, plastic utensils, plastic cereal bowls, yogurt cups, salad containers, and aluminum cans. It's important to remember that all recyclable beverage and food containers should be empty of excess liquids and have the majority of food removed. All recyclables should also go in the same container. At a minimum, all schools are encouraged to at least recycle empty juice cartons and plastic milk bottles. Items that cannot be recycled as part of OPS's recycling program consist of clear plastic wrapping around plastic utensils, plastic bags, chip bags, styrofoam cups, used napkins, and disposable trays. For more information about what is recyclable and what is not, go to the OPS Green Schools Initiative webpage. You can also obtain files for standard OPS recycling signage on this site. There are 10 key elements to having a successful cafeteria recycling program. The first is a supportive principal. The principal, or key administrator, is supportive of the cafeteria recycling program and conveys the importance of recycling to the entire school. He or she also clearly communicates expectations regarding recycling to the head building engineer, kitchen manager, and any staff assigned to assist with the lunch period.
Before we started recycling, our trash bin was picked up 5 days a week, and the recycling bin was picked up once a week. Now that we've started recycling, it only took like 3 weeks, and the trash bin now is only picked up 3 days a week, and the recycling bin is picked up 3 days a week, I believe.
The next key element is the head building engineer. The head building engineer and custodians actively support the cafeteria recycling operations and take bags of recyclables to the recycling dumpster. At some schools, head building engineers and custodians even help direct students at the cafeteria station.
When the kids are done, like if they don't drink all their milk, they can just pour it into the big trash can, and then they put, like, you know, you see here we got the plasticware, the wrappers, and then like the sandwich containers too. And then when we stack all this, I can just wrap that up at the end of the lunch session. We can take it out and save us a bunch of bags and stuff like that too. So, and then mainly we have like food and drink in there.
Another key factor are paraprofessionals. A paraprofessional is posted at each recycling station and helps students with recycling and sacking trays. Or a paraprofessional is responsible for his or her class or table and directly assists students.
Myself, Ms. Kavetsky, JD, the head custodian, but then all the paraprofessionals, because they're really the main people that are in the cafeteria during lunch. We do have certified staff members, obviously, but the paras are with their class, and they do a lot with the kids to help them figure out what to do during lunch or at breakfast. So by collaborating with all of the different people involved, we were able to come up with a plan and then try the plan out before we actually implemented it school-wide.
Another factor is obvious recycling bins and signage. Recycling bins are located right next to trash containers. There may just be 1 or 2 recycling stations where all the students go, or there may be several recycling stations dispersed throughout the cafeteria. It's also important that the recycling containers look different than the trash cans. Gomez Heritage uses distinct recycling containers obtained from a grant and some school funding. However, schools can repurpose old trash cans to serve as recycling containers. Most schools paint the repurposed containers a distinctive color and place lids on them with a large hole cut in the top to make it obvious they are for recycling. Signage is also very important and should be attached to the recycling container or located right above it on the wall. The next key factor is to have a specific process for dumping excess liquids. The suggested approach is for students to dump out extra juice and milk in the trash before placing the empty container in the recycling bin. It is important to note that some schools demonstrated a different approach. Students pour excess liquids into dump buckets before placing the empty container in the recycling bin. If a school prefers this option, the head building engineer or custodian typically empties the bucket into a kitchen drain. Schools often have students place their disposable tray on a cart located next to the recycling and trash containers. The head building engineer or paraprofessional then places a pile of trays in the trash can when the stacks get too high.
Before we started recycling, our trash bin was picked up 5 days a week, and the recycling bin was picked up once a week. Now that we've started recycling, it only took like 3 weeks, and the trash bin now is only picked up 3 days a week, and the recycling bin is picked up 3 days a week, I believe. Everybody know the trash went down, which saves money, and the recycling went up.
It is very important for schools to educate students and staff about the cafeteria recycling program and what is recyclable. Modeling how to dump excess milk in the trash and how to place all recyclables in the same container can be very beneficial. OPS schools typically produce and show short recycling videos when the program is first launched and at the beginning of each semester as a refresher. Many schools also do announcements about proper recycling procedures in the cafeteria and which items are recyclable.
A couple of the teachers made DVDs of students actually in the cafeteria showing what could be recycled and what couldn't, and then the students made posters to hang in the cafeteria. And then classroom teachers showed the DVD to their classes, but also our technology teacher showed it, and she sees every class over a period of a couple weeks, so every class in the school is able to see the DVD, and that's how it got implemented in educating the students.
The next key element is recognition and feedback. It is beneficial to report back to students and staff about the success of the school's program and how much recycling is being diverted from the landfill.
Do another announcement just to remind the students of what they can recycle in the cafeteria, and also just to congratulate them for everything that they have been recycling so that the kids feel involved and the kids are excited about what they're doing to help the environment.
Some schools pilot or test out a new cafeteria recycling program with a certain lunch section first before rolling it out to all of the lunch sections.
The week before the holidays last year at this time, the 4th grade paras did a whole week trial run. So they got to try different ways to see what would be best consistent for most people. And then after the holiday break, I let the paras present to the other paraprofessionals on what they did and how to do it.
The last key element is that the kitchen staff also recycles. In addition to recycling in the cafeteria, it is beneficial to have kitchen staff recycle cardboard boxes, cans, and plastic containers produced from preparing meals. Staff only need to quickly rinse out the cans or plastic containers that have sticky or heavy food residue in them, such as pasta sauce.
Here in the kitchen, we do generate a lot of things that can be recycled. A lot of food is a lot of our waste here, and we do have boxes and empty containers, and we do recycle just to stay green.
Again, here are 10 key elements to a successful elementary school cafeteria recycling program. It is important to note that schools do not have to have all of these elements in place to have a successful cafeteria recycling program. They are just general recommendations. As Gomez Heritage and many other elementary schools can attest to, implementing a cafeteria recycling program is rather simple and very important, and it usually comes down to collaboration and working as a team to implement the program.
Part of my philosophy with anything is collaboration, so pulling in the key people to figure out how to implement such a big program. So myself, Ms. Kavetsky, JD, the head custodian, but then all the paraprofessionals, because they're really the main people that are in the cafeteria during lunch.
OPS would like to thank the following elementary schools for helping inform the content of this video: Beals Elementary, Benson West Elementary, Castelar Elementary, Chandler View Elementary, Gilder Elementary, Lothrop Magnet School, Ponca Elementary, and Spring Lake Magnet School. This video was produced by the Music and Media Tech Honors Practicum class from Omaha North High Magnet School.